Okay, so you've decided you want to invest in your first rental property. Congratulations! On today's episode, we'll take a deep dive into what you're going to run into, how to navigate situations, and the different things you should have in mind throughout the process. And at the end, stay tuned for how Happy Herbie can rip you off if you don't pay attention. So first, what you should do is decide what your goals are for the property. Grab a piece of paper, write them down, open up an Excel spreadsheet, and type them out. Put them in writing to figure out what you're looking for, how much you have to spend, how much you want to make, and the other things below here. You should know how much you want for cash flow out of the property. What's an acceptable amount to you? It's different to everybody. I can't make financial advice here. This is a YouTube channel, of course. You should know that. And if you do take financial advice from me, grab your hammer right now and smash your computer monitor so you can't watch this anymore. So, for cash flow, if you decide how much you want to make, it could be $200 per month. It could be $500. It could be $5,000 per month. There's all kinds of different properties out there that can help you realize your goals. How much for a down payment? On your first property, it'd probably be better to put as low of a down payment as possible on it, but it's kind of up to you. Write out the amount you want for a down payment. What area do you want it to be in? Do you want it to be local to you? Is it okay if it's remote? Do you want a beach property? Do you want something that's on top of a mountain? I don't know. You decide. What type of property? Do you want a turnkey property where the owner hands you the keys, you walk in and there's already a renter there? Or do you want a fixer-upper? Or do you want something that doesn't have a tenant, that doesn't need fixing up? Figure that out for yourself. I can't tell you what you want. For your other goals, if you have other things in mind that you'd like to see happen, make sure you write them down too. It could be anything like, I want the house to have appliances already. I want a new roof on the house so I don't have to pay $5,000 to $12,000 or $20,000 for a new roof. It could be something like, I want the landscaping done. Put all the little things on there how you want the house to be as your other goals. And we'll go on to the next slide. Okay, so you've written down your goals. Now we need to find how to estimate rent. What we want to do is find comparable properties, and you can do that by checking out online listings. We'll show you how in a moment, and then calculating the rent to value ratio. If you're not sure what that means, look up our previous video on getting a 1% rent to value ratio. With your rent amount, it's good to think about what appliances there are. Your home will rent for more if it comes with all the appliances. If you're trying to rent your house for $1,000 and the renter has to bring a kitchen with them, a washroom with them, sinks, anything else, then you're not going to get as much rent. There's so many rentals out there that don't include appliances that I see, and they would be able to charge hundreds of dollars more per month if the property came with appliances. Does the property have air conditioning? This is important if it's in a warm environment, maybe even required by local laws. But you want to look at that, see if the property comes with central air. Me personally, I try to have all my properties with central air because I don't want a tenant moving a window unit in or out, or having to deal with taking a window unit over there or paying somebody to put a window unit in every year. It's a lot better to have the furnace maintained at the same time. That contractor should be able to come out and maintain the air conditioner at the same time, saving you money. What neighborhood do you want it to be in? There's different classes of neighborhood. You have A, B, and C neighborhoods. We'll do a video on that later on. For myself, I invest in A and B neighborhoods because it's easy to get a good tenant that'll stay for a long time. In C neighborhoods, you're looking at a little rougher area and you may be knocking on the door trying to collect rent every month from all of your tenants. While the houses are cheaper in C neighborhoods, this may be where you want to invest based on your goals there. They're not my goals, they're your goals. But you can find houses a lot cheaper in a C neighborhood. You just may be dealing with a lot more problems collecting rent. Okay, so we went ahead and pulled up a house in what would be considered a C neighborhood. You may have some trouble with your tenants here. They may move in and out, may not complete their lease, but the house is inexpensive at $89,000 for this particular area. If we look through some pictures quickly of the home, we have some carpeting that probably needs to be replaced. We don't have drywall, we have wood paneling. Some damage inside. Flooring looks okay. Doors aren't on the hinges. You'll be fixing that as the purchaser. No kitchen appliances. This is one thing we mentioned. Do you want appliances to come with your rental property, or would you prefer to purchase them yourself? Look at this, different wall. This appears to be drywall in here, so this house is partially redone and remodeled. You can tell maybe from this sink that is definitely not an original sink. And then look at the outside. You're going to need new siding all through here, probably all the way around the back of the house there. And then repaint this here. So you got some work to do on the outside, and we can't see the roof in these pictures, but my guess is you probably need a new roof too. So this would be a C neighborhood. You can get into this house, get it rented quickly. You may be collecting rent every month by knocking on their door. Let's check out A or B property here. We'll move out here a little bit and we will look at this house. This would probably be an A or B property. You can tell the house has been remodeled, apparently very nicely, newer siding, comes with a landscaping. Without looking at any more pictures, since it's so nice on the outside and redone, I would guess it also comes with appliances, or several appliances, maybe not everything. Let's scroll down. New flooring, nice walls, basically ready for a tenant to move in. Based on what we see so far. We have a microwave range, dishwasher. Looks like there's a refrigerator supposed to be here. There's register right there. I don't know about that, but whatever. Okay, maybe it doesn't come with a refrigerator. Let's look down here. Yeah, look at these pictures. Very nice. Has a basement. That's good. Looks like a newer water heater. Good little moisture barrier there with the insulation. Laundry room here. Looks to be in good order. Nice and new looking. And then you have this back deck here with a great view. Okay, so this would be an example of an A property. It's probably going to be too expensive for us, but that's a good comparison really quickly between an A and B property compared to what you would see in a C type neighborhood. You can expect a tenant in a good neighborhood with a home that looks like this to take good care of the property and expect them to stay longer than 6 months to a year, preferably 4 years to 8 years while their children are going through the good school district that this house is in. So we're in Chattanooga, Tennessee today. Let me see here. Like we said on our previous videos, you can see a little chatta something right there. That means Chattanooga. It's below all our schools. We're going to go back like we did previously. We're going to switch this to 150,000 as we usually do. We're going to make sure our for sales are all marked. Our 3-bed, 0 baths. We just select 0 baths because they're all going to come with a house and we make sure we can see everything. There could be a 3-bed, 1-bath house. That could easily be a 3-bed, 2-bath house that this filter omits if you select 2-bath. That's why we have it selected this way. Okay, good. Go over here to our school ratings. And we had it set to 1. We're going to go to 6+ and watch all those schools disappear. Okay, down here looks like we have some Chattanooga suburbs. This is going to be the Georgia line. Let's stay in Tennessee. Tennessee will be okay for today. Here's a Chattanooga suburb in Tennessee. Let's see what these schools are rated. 7, 7, 7, 6, 6. Okay, good. So this would be an A or B area here. Let's zoom in and see what we have available for houses. I like to start somewhere around the 100K range. 6-bed, 4-bath. Let's see what this is. Seems pretty inexpensive for a 6-bed, 4-bath because it is Very mobile home, maybe? Not sure. Skip that one. Oh, let's look here. 140,000, 4-bed, 3-bath. Let's see how this one is. Okay, redone. Newer roof. Got something going on here. Maybe they're doing an addition. Yeah, looks like they're doing some work on the house. Hopefully that's done. Yeah, they got all this stuff here. Okay. Yep, look, I got a nice little outdoor thing with a refrigerator on it. Hopefully that refrigerator stays. Mismatched appliances, that's okay. Our renter probably won't care. Odd placement for the refrigerator. I try to pay attention to where the refrigerator is in every house. Got a bathtub right here. We want to keep an eye on the bathtubs. That different bathroom, you can tell from the glass here versus the curtain here, unless they manage to break that between taking these two pictures. Looks like this family's currently living here. We have a bunch of family photos that are great. Okay. Outside, what is this here? We got to figure out what this is. Looks like they're doing some kind of work on the house. I didn't read the description. It takes too long to read. They should take that pool out there. If they plan on leaving the pool, you might want to make sure you put in your purchase agreement that they remove the pool. We have a ramp here for handicap access. As long as that's code compliant, you can use it for rental and have access to hopefully a handicap accessible house for your tenant. If that's the case, that's great. Opens up your market to more people. Okay, so looks decent. 139,000. I don't know if I'd be paying 140 grand for a house that is has some sort of plastic sheeting over here for something without figuring out what that's all about. We can look at another one here. Oh, let's see. 140,000, 3-bed, 2-bath. Okay, looks like addition put onto an original house. Got some nice decking going on here. Schools, not very good. We will skip that house. Let's see. Where else can we go? What's in here? Check out this $80,000 house. See if it's a townhouse or something. Nope, looks like modular home, possibly. Check out the schools. 554, not good. Okay, estimating rent. Let's check this out here. Did a little searching around over the last minute or two in the Chattanooga area. You can see you got Chattanooga right here. We came up here to Scooby-Doo, Saudi, Daisy, whatever. And we're going to look at this house right here, $137,000. Let's check out the schools. We are 666, if that's good enough for you. If you don't mind the 666 there, then you can look further into this house. Decent on the outside. Looks like old metal aluminum siding, which is fine as long as it's not all beat up. Looks like it's been painted like a baby blue to match this foundation here. Just looking at the pictures, foundation looks pretty decent. Nothing crazy going on with it there. Right here, if we come down to this picture, it looks like they filled in a garage. And you drive up to that and right into your living room now. I like to have a garage in the property. It makes it worth rent for probably another $100 a month at least. So trying to find a house with a garage is ideal, but let's look through this one and then we'll estimate rents based on that. So coming down in the pictures, got some appliances. Newer kitchen sink, that's good. Decent countertops. They don't look beat up. They're green, which is kind of weird, but that's okay. Our renter or tenant probably won't mind. We're missing a range or a refrigerator, whatever goes there. Let's see. Comes with a little fireplace thing. That's nice. We got a bathtub. Check it out. Bathtub meets that. We don't have to put in a bathroom. Laundry room here. You can see the little dryer vent. Some shelving. Good. Clean that up. Paint it maybe. And your tenant will love you. It's got a little rack here to hang your clothes you're drying on. Already installed. Walk-in closet. Oh, good. Like having a walk-in closet in a house. That's the first one of those we've seen in a while. Hey, we got another bathtub here with a little storage area. That's good for a tenant. They'll love that. These little racks here aren't expensive either. They're easy to replace if they get broken. Very inexpensive. You can, if a tenant breaks it, you can typically just ship them a new one and they'll hook it into place. And then don't even bother messing with the security deposit on that. It's $20. Just there you go, Mr. Tenant. Pay your rent on time. Mr. and Mrs. Tenant. Looks like you get a slide. That's good. Okay, so we would want to rent this house for $140,000. Beat our 1% rent to value ratio. Need some TLC. Just reading this a little bit. Okay, we do see that it's for sale by owner. You can run into a little bit of a mess with this. They're probably not wanting to come down on this price very much because it's for sale by owner. Means they're trying to save 7% on a realtor. You can use your own realtor and make them pay the 3% for your realtor fee or whatever your realtor wants to charge. I recommend doing the negotiations yourself on for sale by owner and then bring the realtor in later on. We can cover negotiations later. Okay, so let's go see what we can rent this thing for. We're going to go to rent right here. Remember, it changes this, so we got to make that 3,000. There we go. We have $950. $950 for a modular home. Not quite as nice as what we were looking at here. Only a couple pictures. Okay. See what else. 2.1K right here. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. 4-bed, 3-bath. Ours was 3-bed, 2-bath, I believe. Looks really nice. This one's definitely well done. They definitely deserve 2.1K out of this. Can we rent ours for $500 less per month or $600 less per month? Let's zoom out, see if we can get a little more picture of the rentals. So down here we have 1.3K. That one's nice. Older, that'd be a good little rental property. See that older refrigerator? They're not worried about that getting all banged up. You can tell it's probably just bought off Craigslist because they had this little range here and microwave they put in brand new. And then they have an old white refrigerator. Oh well. Tenant doesn't care. They're only there for, in this house, who knows? They might be there for 3 or 4 years, but that's good. Good carpet. Looks like it's all new stuff. Hey, good. 1.3K, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet. Let's switch over to our for sale. It's going to change our stuff up here again. We're going to manually type in 150,000. It's quicker. And this is our house right here. So we had 1,078 square feet. It's somewhat smaller. I would say we are only going to be able to get $1,100 to $1,200 per month out of this house, so it may not be worth it at $137,000. You can go ahead and contact the owner of this property. Just give them a call right on their cell phone. Talk to them for a little bit. Tell them who you are. You're an investor. You want to find a nice property in the area and wanted to talk to them a little bit more about it, possibly stop by to see it. And then once you build some rapport, you can feel them out on price and see if they'll drop it to $120,000 because you can rent this for $1,200 all day long. Okay, so that's that. What is this one? $145,000, closer to Chattanooga. Looks like either the house is crooked or this hill is crooked. I would guess it's probably the hill that's crooked. Okay, let's click on that there. We got a nice little, okay. Oh, look at the back of it. We're actually on a pretty nice hill. They have this little porch thing. That's nice. Yeah, okay. No interior pictures. It's probably wrecked. It says fixer upper right here. DLC, 3-bedroom, finished basement, wood burning fireplace, screen porch. Okay. Good for them. Okay, 8, 5, and 4. Not good for school, so we don't even want to go there. Okay, good. So I think this one's our best opportunity. Pre-foreclosure. Looks like that might be a pretty good price at $137,000 in the area. If you can get it down a little, $120,000 might be a good deal. So that's one way to evaluate on your first rental property. Check out our other property evaluation videos and get some more tips. Okay, so estimating rent. We're going to go ahead and switch this to our rental view. Zoom out. Let's find kind of the downtownish area. We're gonna switch this to our normal $3,000 per month. Okay, and a whole bunch of rentals pop up. Great. You can probably tell the good neighborhoods from the bad just by looking at this. You can see right here you have 900, 975. Come through here 1.1K, 1.1, 1.4. Then we jump up when we cross over this road here to 1.9K. Oh, really nice redone house. They definitely deserve 1.9K for that house. Then we come out here. This looks like it's probably a little better neighborhood. And we're looking at 1.6, $3,000. Wow, 1.6. Let's check this one out. Yep, okay, there we go. Our 1.6K houses in Chattanooga are very nice. If we come over here to our 1.1K house, we'll probably see a pretty big difference. Yeah, look at that driveway. Look, they got some speed bumps there so they don't drive into the house. Maybe, I don't know. Let's look here. Okay, this looks like just a basic rental property put together fairly inexpensively, and they're renting it for $1,100 per month. Come over here to this $975 house. See what this is. Looks to be older. That's probably 1960s, 70s era. Little porch thing there. Okay. What else? Not really any interior pictures. They don't care. You don't have a bathtub. That's a mistake. Well, at least they can sit down or throw the toddler on top of the little shower seat there. Okay, so you can tell the difference between this property for $975 and we come out here to this one for $1.6K. I don't think I looked at this one. Nope, sure didn't. But you can definitely tell the difference between this one. Comes with washer dryer, nice little door. Okay, good. It's all staged. Oh, wow, well lit. Look at that. Big difference between those two properties. Okay, so out here, if you're looking and want to estimate rent, you can see that you have from $3,000, which is our cap, all the way down to probably, I thought I saw $1,100 in here somewhere. 1.3K, 1.5, 1.4. So you know that in this area, you can pay $150,000 for a house and very likely get 1.5K rent for a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,665 square foot home. And we'll look at this. This is a townhouse, part of a community here. Okay, comes with a 1-car garage usually. Yep, there it is. We have a washer and dryer. We have a shower. I don't think that's a bathtub. Could be a problem. Let me see. Oh, there's your bathtub right there. We can't quite scroll down that far, but that is a bathtub. So for $1,500, if you have a home at 1,665 square feet in this area with a bathtub, you can get rent. You can get it rented out. That means you can spend up to $150,000 and be assured that you'll have it rented out. So that's one way to estimate the rents in an area. You come down here like downtown. These are probably a lot of condos and stuff like that. Could be some houses mixed in there, but usually you get in these downtown areas, you have condos and you're stuck with HOA fees, stuff like that. There are some houses down here, but you're probably going to pay a lot more for a house in a downtown area, and it's probably not as good a neighborhood as you're going to find out here towards the suburbs. All right, estimating total cash needed to close on a property. So there's a few different things involved in what you're going to need if this is your first property. Typically, you can have your mortgage broker or bank review everything and have you pre-approved at no cost, so you know how much of a property you can get a mortgage for. So some things to consider are cash to close. On an investment property, you're going to be putting up 20% typically to get a 30-year fixed rate, which is what we want to do. So if your property is $150,000, you're going to have to come up with $30,000 for a down payment on the property to have it as an investment property. When you're going through the process of purchasing the house, I always have an inspection done. I definitely wouldn't recommend closing on a house unless you've had a detailed inspection done by a professional inspector. They're not expensive, and typically anything that they come up with you can put in as a repair request with the seller, and have them fix it or back out of the deal if it's a big problem for you and going to cost too much to fix. When you first put in your purchase agreement, you have to put up some earnest money, typically 1% of the purchase price of the house, or if it's under $100,000 for that home, usually you can get away with just a $500 earnest money deposit. This has to be wired over to a title company or other escrow account so that if you back out of the deal in the middle for no reason, the homeowner gets some cash. Repairs. So you have to think about your closing costs plus repairs to make the property rent ready. If there's a big hole in the floor and your closing costs are $20,000, you can't necessarily turn around and throw the keys to a renter the day after you close on the property. You probably want to fix the hole so their dog doesn't fall through it and chew on all the wiring down in the crawl space. Okay, and utilities. It's a minor expense, but you have to keep in mind that while your property's sitting vacant, you have utilities you have to pay for. That's electric, gas, and water typically. Or if the property has septic with well water, you're probably just looking at electric and gas for utilities. Appliances. You'll often see houses for sale with some or all appliances, but occasionally they come with no appliances when you purchase the house. So depending on what appliances come with the home, you'll definitely want to clarify that while you're in the purchase process and make sure that everything that you want left with the house is marked on your purchase agreement. Most purchase agreements will have spots for every appliance in the home. Refrigerator, range, microwave, all that stuff can be checked off on your purchase agreement, saying that the seller agrees to leave it with the house. Upgrades. So besides repairs, you also have upgrades. So let's say you purchase a 1-bath house and you want to put in a bathtub because it only has a shower. That would be considered an upgrade instead of a repair. So on a typical, we'll switch it over to a 3-bed, 2-bath house. Oftentimes you see these with a shower in the main bathroom and then simply a half bath for that second bathroom. What you're going to want to do, or what I do, I can't make any recommendations to you. Remember, this is a YouTube channel. If you take a recommendation from me financially, you should grab a hammer, smash your monitor, throw the monitor out the window, then throw the hammer on top of it and walk away. So as far as upgrades go, what I do is switch out any showers or half baths, if I can, with a bathtub. That way you can have the widest range of possible tenants, including a family with young children. If you don't have a bathtub, you cannot rent to a family with young children unless they're desperate because they need someplace to bathe the child or children. And then also consider costs in finding a tenant. Typically, if you have a property manager, they're going to bill you 1 month of the rent for that. So if you're renting a home for $1,500, you'll likely have to shell out a check for $1,500, or they're going to keep the first month's rent. So then you're stuck with the mortgage payment and you're not getting paid rent until the second month. So also with finding a tenant, there's advertising costs. There's different things associated with that, including paying for background checks. Who's paying for those? With my tenants, I have them pay for the background check, and then I'm kind enough that if they're approved and sign a 12-month lease, I refund the background check cost for all adults in the property onto their first month's rent. So if they spend $80 to have 2 adults processed with a background check total, I take $80 off of their first month's rent as a courtesy. You don't have to do that. And it helps sort out the tire kickers when you tell them you have to have a background check prior to a lease. So we'll switch over to Zillow here and show you some properties and estimate cash needed. Okay, if we wanted to buy this house here for $147,500, we're going to ask them for a $7,500 discount on this purchase price and get it for $140,000, hopefully. If we're able to achieve that, 20% of $140,000 is $28,000 that you have to come up with at closing. So scrolling through here, we also need to consider upgrades, repairs, and all that other stuff we just talked about. So on the outside, doesn't look like it really needs any repairs. Our home inspector will let us know if anything's wrong with this brick here, or anything's wrong with these garage doors, or if anything needs painted, etc., etc. We scroll down, look at the driveway here. We'll pull up a bigger picture of the driveway. Looks pretty decent. It's got a couple cracks in it, nothing big. You might want to have this asphalt sealed. It might be $400 or $500. It's up to you. Really doesn't seem like it needs it. That might not even be asphalt. That might be that gravel stuff they put down with tar. Not really sure, but it doesn't look bad. So that's okay. Okay, this back deck here, it's rentable. You may want to pressure wash this. You definitely need to clean this up some. Trim these trees back. We know about trees. We don't want any of these trees near the house. So call a tree trimmer, have them trim that back. It'd be, $300-400. You're going to have all your trees trimmed. Your contractor, if you end up needing a contractor for this property, should be able to pressure wash this and clean it up pretty good for maybe $150. Okay, let's see here. Deck. Ooh, we got central air. We have central air in this property. Doesn't look like too old of a unit. Looks pretty decent. It's on a nice concrete slab here, so no problem with that. That's good. That saves us some money. And our inspector will check out and see whether that works. Okay, kitchen looks good. Let's see if we can see appliances. I don't see a refrigerator here or a room to put a refrigerator. Maybe it goes like over here on this wall, not sure. No microwave above the range, so they're going to be putting a microwave on the counter somewhere. That kind of sucks. But you can have them bring their own counter microwave. That's fine. But you're definitely going to need to figure something out for a refrigerator. Let's see. Ooh, we got a dishwasher. We can see a dishwasher here. Yeah, I'm guessing the refrigerator goes like right here, like we were saying on this wall, right in here somewhere. Yep. Okay. So we need to buy a refrigerator. Let's see. That's $1,000. You can find one if you're local. You can find one used, but a lot of times you just buy a new one. Comes with a warranty. It's $1,000 at your local independent appliance store. If you go to one of the big box ones, you'll end up paying more. You can usually get a deal from the local independent store, a couple $100 off. Let me see. Basement. Okay, looks good. We have a picture of our HVAC here. Let's zoom in. Okay, looks like a pretty nice size furnace unit. Doesn't look too bad or too shabby. We got insulation here. That's good. No vapor or moisture barrier. That's okay. This is where they pull into the garage and they park their SUV right here, and all their kids climb out and then they jump on your water heater. Okay, good. Looks like a 50-gallon water heater, the short style. There's a short water heater and a tall, skinny water heater. Looks like a 50-gallon short. Okay. All right, what do we got here? Let's check this out. Maybe it comes with some of these cleaning supplies here. That looks good. Washer and dryer maybe somewhere over here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have these cabinets. Not sure where the washer and dryer goes. We didn't get to see that anywhere. We have a bathtub. Let's check that bathroom out. Okay, bathroom. Look at this tile very carefully right here. This is going to cost you about $100 to $200 to get cleaned. You definitely need to clean it and make this brown dirty grout look like this nice clean white grout. So you do that. Doesn't look too good here. Doesn't look too good with this little chip in the bathtub. You're looking at, let's think here. Got a shower bar already. That's good. Curtain rod. That's what we call those. Not a shower bar. We call that a curtain rod. Okay. Yeah. So you got some repairs on this tub. You got some mold. So you check out this mold right here. Always pay attention to this moldy stuff, and you can put in a good estimate as to what your repair is going to be. I'm going to say you're looking at $400 to have this bathroom professionally cleaned. That might be paying a little too much, but you got to make sure this mold is out of here and taken care of. This is all going to need to be re-caulked because it's tile. And if that is a chip in the bathtub, you make a note of that. And when you go look at the house, or when your realtor looks at the house, he or she will take a picture and text it over to you and let you know it's chipped. If it's chipped, there's like a appliance paint that you can get put on there, which is kind of why I'm saying $400 to $500 for this. You're going to have this all cleaned. You're going to have this all cleaned and re-caulked. and then you're going to have that little chip repaired. It's not 100% necessary to have that chip repaired, but it is kind of a visual thing for people, and they don't like renting a house that doesn't look good, right? They would move on to the next one. Okay, carpeting. Carpeting looks good enough for a renter, good enough for a tenant. You need to fix that right there. That's just put $20 on that one. Okay, good. So we have $28,000 down for the house. We have about $2,000 in fix-up expenses, cleaning, and mainly these bathrooms, making sure these bathrooms are clean. Probably want to clean these carpets again. And then other incidentals. Just plan on $2,000 to get this house all fixed up and rent ready. Looks like you can probably do that in about 4 days. As long as your contractor can get out there, pressure wash that, fill in that one hole we saw with that fixture right here. Fix that hole, and clean and fix up this bathroom a little bit. I would say 4 days is a good estimate. So you could legitimately close on this house on a Monday, show renters through on a Tuesday, tell them stuff's going to be fixed, have them walk through again on a Friday, and sign the lease that evening with everything fixed up and having it rent ready. Okay, good. So we're at $30,000 on that house. Let's switch back to our slide and make sure we didn't miss anything. So we have our cash to close. We have our inspection. Inspection, plan on $400. You can get them less, you can get them more. Depends what services you get. So $30,000 plus, say, $400, $30,400. Earnest money, it's going to be $1,400. So we're at $31,800. Repairs, $2,000. We already included that. Utilities, plan on $200 in utilities. It's going to be a lot less than that. It might probably be $80. And then appliances, you need $1,000 for a refrigerator. So we're at $32,400 if my math is right. If not, correct me in the comments. Upgrades, we didn't really need to upgrade anything. Should be good there. And then finding the tenant, plan on using your realtor, which is what I do. The realtor that I used to purchase the house, I pay him half of a month's rent, so to show the tenant through and go from there. And then he hands off the keys to the tenant and takes care of everything else. I never actually meet my tenants face to face. Okay, so $32,400, probably just to be safe, $33,000 I would say is what we need to make sure we have $33K. Okay, great. Got that one figured out. And that's how you do that. You can just figure it out, add a little on top, and you know about what you need. Then you can tell if you can afford the place or not. Here we are. Time from closing to rent. This tells you how long it's going to take before you start cash flowing, which is the whole goal of doing all of this work, right? The whole goal of watching all of these videos. So the main thing you need to consider is repairs that are needed. So if you have a bathroom that needs repaired, if it needs a new bathtub, if it needs a new toilet, if it needs new plumbing, a new vanity, new fixtures, you're looking at least a couple days. It takes 4 to 5 days if your contractor's working consistently on it to tear out an old bathtub and put in a new one. If you have a new vanity, a lot of times that can be done in 1 day. You put a mirror up, that's about an hour. If you have to run new wiring for a vanity light above the vanity, looking at probably 2 days for that, unless your contractor is an electrician at the same time, in which case they'll be able to run it and do it all in 1 day. But usually if you're doing work on a bathroom and tearing out any type of bathtub or shower, plan on at least 5 days and ask your contractor what's needed, because they may say 7 to 10 depending on what their capabilities are. So bathroom, it's either 1 day or you're looking at 10 days. Just plan on that when you're going through the closing process. For a kitchen, if you have to take out counters and cabinets and appliances and all of that, you're looking at about 30 days before everything's installed again. Your contractor has to come in and measure everything out. A lot of times they do this with a laser thing nowadays that shoots little pew-pews all over your house and gets it measured down to the millimeter. Then they have to order the countertop, and if there's any delay in that, then you're pushed back a week. I've had that happen quite a bit. And then with new cabinets, so we have to order the cabinets. They take at least a week to show up unless we're going to the local big box store, which I definitely recommend, and purchasing cabinets that will fit, that are stock cabinets. That way, if one gets broken, you can run back over to the same big box store, as long as they still produce the same model, buy one and stick it in where the broken one is. Plumbing. Figure out from your contractor how much plumbing work is going to be needed if there's plumbing work being done. A lot of times plumbing involves tearing out drywall or tearing out plaster or some other type of getting into the walls or into the floor. If that's the case, you're looking at 3 days to 4 days for the repairs on the drywall and plaster, where the plumbing can be done in about 5 minutes. So keep that in mind. Find out if the plumbing is in the walls, in the floor, totally accessible, and then add on that appropriate amount of time for that wall being torn out. A roof. Okay, so roofs can take anywhere from 3 days all the way up to 2 weeks. It just depends on the size of the roof, whether it rains or not. You just never know. Plan on 2 weeks if you're doing a roof. Your contractor may get held up. It may rain. Your contractor may have to hop over to another job. Had all that happen and push jobs back for me. So throwing those out there as tips on a roof. You definitely want to get a couple estimates on roofs unless you have a roofer that you really know and trust. You can get a wide range of prices. I managed to find I needed a garage roof replaced one time and had estimates $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 to replace a garage roof. Called around, found a roofer that just happened to have enough shingles and supplies left over from a previous job the week before, and he did it for $2,000. Brand new roof on the garage, saved me at least $1,000, if not $2,000 or $3,000. Call around, get a couple estimates, unless you have your own trusted roofer. You don't want to mess with a roof. If it leaks, your tenant is not going to pay the rent, and they're going to move out. Okay, so you found yourself a nice property, you purchased it, and it doesn't need repairs. Perfect. We call that almost turnkey. It would be turnkey if it had a renter already in it. So the only thing you really need to do is figure out how you're going to show the property, figure out how you're going to get a lease signed, and then collect your first payment. So as far as showing the property goes, what I recommend and what I try to do is negotiate with the seller to use the pictures they have and list the property for rent prior to closing. This will get you some leads that you can call on the closing date when you take possession of the house and show them through. It's possible, depending on the rental environment that your property's in, that the first group of people or first day, when 2 or 3 or 4 different people walk through the property, one of them will want to lease the property. What do you do then? Okay, so it should only take you about 20 minutes to an hour once they say they want to sign the lease to have a e-signable lease in their hands. You can do this through several websites, including Zillow. There's other ones that I recommend, like Avail is good for e-sign leases, inexpensive, costs less than Zillow, etc., etc. They'll also collect your payments. So payments, how do you collect a first payment? It's possible, if no repairs are needed, that person would sign a lease, be background checked, and be ready to move in tomorrow, right after closing. So you can take a check from them. I recommend 3 days after closing that they can move in, or 3 days after submitting payment, so that you can ensure that their first check clears. What you're going to have on your first payment is whatever you set up as the terms and whatever comes back with their credit. So for instance, you could have it that if you have under a 680 credit score, it requires that you pay the first month's, last month's rent, and 1 month's rent as a deposit. So then they're paying you, if you're renting your property for $1,200, they're giving you a check for $3,600 to move in, and you want to make sure that clears the bank before they get the keys. So if they have really good credit, you might just do like 1 month's rent. You might do half a month's rent for a deposit, and they give you a check, and as soon as that check clears, they can move in. It's a couple different things you can do. It's really up to you and the rental environment. Sometimes it's really competitive in your area, so other landlords may be throwing them the keys the first day, but you really want to kind of hedge your risk there and make sure that you have that payment deposited and in your checking account. And if you use another service to collect your first month's rent, like let's say you're not local and you use a service like Zillow or Avail to collect rent, it can take them up to 1 week to deposit your payment. If you're using a property manager, you want to make sure you understand their payment terms. The tenant will pay them, and then they pay you after they deduct their fee. That's why I self-manage and recommend it to everybody else that I talk to, all my friends and family. It's not difficult to do that. You call a plumber if you need a plumber, you get it plumbed, and then you move on if you have a problem. So from there, after the first month's payment or the first payment's collected, the tenant can get the keys and move in. I've done this in as little as 3 business days. So now we'll talk about managing the property. There's a couple different styles of management. You can self-manage, which is good, or you can hire a management company. We'll talk about self-management first. It's what I do. It's what I recommend to my friends and family. It's not difficult, but you do have to have the availability to deal with issues. Okay, so first of all, to self-manage, you really need to get together a contractor list. Have 2 or 3 different general contractors that can do any number of normal things. If you're not local, you need to have a local person there that's assigned as your property manager. It can be a friend, a family member, mother, father, children, whoever lives local. If you're purchasing a property out of state, you'll typically be required by your insurance company to list somebody local that is your property manager. If you don't have insurance on the property, you can't close on the property and take possession, so keep that in mind. The next question you ask yourself is, how do I get extra keys? If you're local, you run to the hardware store, you make some extra keys, and you're good. If not, for me personally, I ask my realtor or contractor, since my properties aren't local, to go to the store, make 3 or 4 extra copies of the keys, and mail them over to me and my local person that I know that is listed as my property manager. Billing. How do you handle billing your tenant? Like I said in the last slide, I recommend a site called Avail. They don't pay me anything as of yet. Maybe they do. I don't know. But it's super inexpensive. They do ACH directly out of your tenant's account. Your tenant can also pay with a credit card for a fee. For you, the ACH service is free. They just bill you a certain amount monthly to have the house listed and have services from them for the house. Now, availability, going a little deeper into your availability. If you work at a job where you can't answer your phone in an emergency, it's probably better to go with the next choice of a management company. But if you work somewhere where you can answer text messages or answer phone calls from a tenant in an emergency, then you should be okay managing the property on your own. If you wonder if you're going to be okay managing a property on your own, you can always hire a management company later if it's too much. So maybe start out managing it yourself, and if it's just too much, bring on a management company. So moving on to a management company, what's going to happen there? They're going to have you fill out a contract and they're going to bill you 8 to 12% of your monthly rent to collect your rent check for you. So what does that mean? You should ask them how they collect a rent check. If it doesn't come in, are they driving to the house and knocking on the door? Are they sending an email? Are they calling? Do they even care? So there's cost to benefit that you have to really examine here. In my experience, a tenant rarely calls except for the first month or 2 that they move in. After that, you rarely hear from a tenant. Also, with a property manager, there's responsiveness and then their contracting. You should be able to get a list of their repair prices from them before hiring them. If they give you a list of repair prices and you know something's off, like a water heater that you can get replaced on your own for $700 to $1,000, if they're billing you $1,500 to $2,000 on their price list for a water heater, they're taking a kickback. That's great for everybody but you. So what else would they do? You have to think about whether they're going to be answering your calls and answering your tenants' calls. Do they have online maintenance requests? They should. It's inexpensive for them, and they should have a software in their company that will help track that. Next is delays in payments. The property management company doesn't pay you immediately on the first of the month like a tenant would. A property management company is going to delay your payment so that they know they have the money in the bank and then issue you a check or deposit the funds that you're owed into your account. This can be as much as 30 days after the tenant submits payment. In my opinion, 30 days is absolutely ludicrous. There's no excuse for a property manager to hold on to your payment for 30 days. So consider those items when you're going through figuring out how you're going to manage your property. Occasionally, you'll come across a property that you know is going to be trouble, and you just hire a property manager to begin with. But self-managing, as long as you're able to talk to contractors, you have a local person, you can get some extra keys through the mail. Maybe you're in prison and can't get keys in the mail. I don't know. And you can figure all this stuff out on your own if you have the time. And then you're not paying this property management company $120 a month for your $1,200 rental. And that'll do it for this slide. So our bonus tip for this episode is pictures. Use pictures to judge repair time. We looked at a picture earlier of that bathroom with a little chip in it and some mold and some bad grout, and we can get a good estimate of repair time from that, 4 to 5 days, depending on how quickly our contractor can get out there. Take pictures of the kitchen. Take pictures of the outside. Take pictures of flooring. Take pictures of the paint. Take pictures of everything, including the appliances, close-ups, far away. Take pictures of the tags on the appliances that list the model number. Do it all. Get an archive going and put it in a file on your computer that is named after the property address. Get pics of everything. You can get pictures by going to the property and taking them yourself. You can also pull them off the listing. You can just right-click any picture on any listing and save it to your file. If you're on a PC, if you're on a cell phone, you can take a screenshot with whatever cell phone you're using. Usually your realtor would be willing to walk through the property if you're not local, or walk through the property with you and take pictures as well, and then send them to you through email or text them over to you. That's a good way to get extra pictures if you're not available or near the property, and have a good record of everything that's in the house. Have the seller's realtor take and send you pictures. Keep in mind, they're going to send you the good ones, not the ones they're trying to hide. But they can send you pictures of the microwave, they can send you pictures of the refrigerator, the floors, the outside. They should be able to send you pictures of everything without hiding too much. Just keep that in mind, that they have their own agenda, to where if you have a realtor, that realtor that you're paying has you in mind. Now, as always, you have to beware of Happy Herbie. He wants to take your money. Of course he does. Why wouldn't? Today, Happy Herbie isn't trying to sell us a house or rent the house from us. He's in fact our contractor. You can see he has a hammer. He has a little screwdriver that's kind of cut off in the frame. That's fine, but what I don't see is a nice contractor's certificate or a license or bond. So we have ourselves, he's a dishonest contractor. Imagine that. So dealing with your contractors on a house, what you want to do is put together a repair list. Get a list of every single thing that you want repaired. Call the contractor, get them the list, and get a cost estimate from them in writing. Also with that, a contractor will oftentimes avoid giving you a time estimate. So when they're 6 weeks into a project that should take 1 week, they can tell you, well, we didn't know how long it was going to take. So when you're talking to your contractor, get a cost estimate, get a time estimate. The most important thing, if that contractor tells you 4 weeks, Herbie says, oh, it'll take 4 weeks to put in that new bathtub. You go ahead and add 2 weeks to it in your head, because that's what's going to happen. There's no contractor that can remodel an entire house and fix it on time. If you do have a contractor that fixes things on time, definitely leave a link to their website in the comments, and if they're local, I'll switch to using them. If it's going to be an 8-week restoration, you might want to double that to 4 weeks that you're adding on. Keep in mind a contractor will accept change requests. If there's something that comes up that you want to change, they'll accept that. Ask them how they deal with that. If they're giving you a new estimate, if they'll just throw it on, or if they'll just do it at no extra charge. Some examples of change requests. I had a contractor working on electrical. The contractor said, hey, this light is old. I said, hey, let's replace that ceiling fixture then with a new light. The contractor said, okay, I can do that for $40 with a nice LED fixture. And I said, perfect, let's do it. We both agreed on $40, got a new light that would have cost me $120 to have somebody come out and replace, and it was only $40. Good deal. Get multiple estimates. There's no reason that you can't call another contractor. There's definitely more than one contractor in your area, unless you're buying a house in the Arctic, in which case you would be buying an igloo and it would melt in the summer anyway. Global warming is, in fact, may or may not be a thing. We're not going into that on this channel because we don't care about that. Can you pay for materials? So this is something that comes up. What happens in a roofing job? In a roofing job, a contractor is going to give you an overall price because they know they're not really paying anything for materials. It's all labor. So what you want to do is ask if you can pay for materials. I wouldn't expect a roofer would let you do that, but if a contractor is working on the inside of your house, there's no reason they should be upcharging you for blinds or flooring or whatever. They should give you a labor price, and if you want to purchase the materials, you go ahead and purchase them and have them delivered, or have your contractor pick them up when they're at the hardware store. Trust me, if a contractor says, well, then I have to go pick it up, they are trying to charge you extra money because that contractor is going to be at that hardware store 3 times today while they're working on your house. There's no reason they can't pick up the flooring materials and bill you $1 per square foot to put it in. So when you get the cost estimate from the contractor, go ahead and add that 2 weeks on there, but also add 15% to it because stuff's going to come up. That contractor's going to come up with other stuff that he or she says needs to be fixed. And you're going to agree to it because you know what? It's just easier when the renter doesn't have a chip in their bathtub that you missed, or when the plumbing below the sink that nobody looked at is leaking and you need to get it fixed. So go ahead and add 15% to that estimate and you'll end up in a better spot than you would otherwise. So there you go. Look out for Happy Herbie. He's coming with his hammer and his screwdriver and he's going to try to take your cash. So that'll do it for the video on your first rental property. If I missed anything, I can always add it in. Just leave a link in the comments down there. Hopefully it was a lot of information for you. Maybe watch this video 2 or 3 times. Give it a little thumb up down here somewhere. Right below this down here. I don't know. Right down here. I don't know where it's at. And subscribe. It'll be a little symbol right about here. Go ahead and do that and we'll see you next time.